evening, everyone. Today we are here at the Seniawan Night Market, and it's a pleasure to have with us Mr. Jackson to share a little bit about entrepreneurship. Well, Mr. Jackson, can you share with us what are the benefits of being an entrepreneur?
Well, becoming an entrepreneur, actually you have a lot of benefits. Firstly, you create a job for yourself, and you can create a job that you like. It could be based on your interests, your talent, or your skill set, and you have the know-how, and you go into that business, and you can do very well because you know how to do it, and you know how to do it very well. And you can provide your products or services in exchange of money. That's why this is the biggest reward of becoming an entrepreneur.
We would also like to know what are the possible challenges that an entrepreneur faces when running his own business.
There are many challenges as a businessman or as an entrepreneur. Firstly, most people, the biggest worry is about revenue. Is there money coming into the business? Because if there's no money coming in, you can't afford to pay for the operation cost of your business, like staff salary, rent, electricity, and all the cost of operation. So the biggest worry of any business entrepreneur would be cash flow. Yeah. The second could be managing the customers. Can you find and keep the customers? Can you make sure they are happy? Can you make sure they stay with you? And of course, the third biggest worry as an entrepreneur would be how can you actually grow your business from very small to very big. And if you manage to grow your business to become very big, how do you actually manage your manpower, manage your customers, and manage your whole business? So this is another worry of many entrepreneurs.
Well, most importantly, what is the mindset needed to be an entrepreneur?
I think the most important mindset to become entrepreneur is that the person need to have a long-term goal. The entrepreneur must also be very visionary, that in the first 3 years of running a business, you must not be expecting too much, you must not be expecting high profit. But most business entrepreneurs, when they actually start their business and they don't see money in the first 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, even in the first year, then they decided to close down their business. This is the biggest mistake of any entrepreneur, because we must always look into 3 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, then only the big money will come. So the long-term vision is very, very critical to become a successful entrepreneur. And the second important thing is also managing the cash flow. A lot of entrepreneurs fail in this area because when they earn a little bit of money, they start to spend all the money. And this is very wrong, because in the business, they must actually use the little profit they have to grow the capital, to grow their resources so that they can even expand the business.
I believe being an entrepreneur, people would like to know what is actually the rewards, that they will get as an entrepreneur.
Rewards. The rewards of becoming an entrepreneur, number one will be you have money freedom. If you become very successful, money becomes not an issue anymore. However, a lot of entrepreneurs are facing the challenge of time issue. So the time issue again can be helped with the technology around you, with by hiring good people. You can reduce your time in the business. You can be on the business, and it's very important that entrepreneurs also learn to enjoy themselves, like going for holiday, buy your dream car, your dream house. So you must learn to celebrate your success. You must learn to enjoy the money. This is when you actually becoming successful. Things are already running smoothly, and you have a system in place, and you can already see consistent money coming in, consistent profit. So you must learn to enjoy. Don't just work and die. Yeah. So you must enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's very important for entrepreneurs.
Well, can you also share with us, Jackson, how can one start his or her own business?
I think I always help entrepreneurs to look into themselves and to ask themselves what is their natural talent. Because if you don't have the natural talent, it's difficult for you to grow the business. So the talent is number one, and second is the passion. Do you love this thing, and do you have the skill? If you have the talent and you love this kind of business, then you don't mind to do it 10,000 times. You don't mind to do it for the next 10 years. You don't mind to do it for the next 20 years. Because firstly, you have the talent, and second, you have the love. So loving what you do is very important. Example, if you want to open a restaurant and you don't like food, you don't know how to cook, you don't like to get into the kitchen, you don't like fire, you don't like to get your hands dirty, then certainly food business is not the type of business for you. But if you like kids, you like little toddlers, and then you like to mingle with kids, maybe opening a nursery is something for you, because your interest is spending time with the little children and talk to them and play with them, so providing them a safe environment. So I think the first criteria is you need to ask yourself, what is your natural talent? And second is, where is your passion? And the third biggest question is, are you sure you want to spend 10, 20, 30 years in this area? So these are the three guiding questions.
And when you start your own business, is it necessary for one to actually employ others to help run the business?
When you start a business in the first 3 months, it may not be necessary, because you are looking at survival stage of your business. Can you survive? Can you pay the bills? Can you break even? Yeah, can you make a little profit? But when you grow your business, when your revenue increase, yes, it's very important to hire. You must hire good people, because if you hire the wrong people, they can also become a liability to your business. So it's very important to hire the right people in order for your business to sustain and grow. Hiring people is like putting the right people in the big ship. So you must always hire the right people.
Jackson, can you share with us how can an entrepreneur manage the company's cash flow well?
You must firstly know the rule of money, that business money is not your money. Business money must go into company's account, and your money is your money. As a businessman, you can put aside a small salary for yourself, just like an employee. So you actually put aside a small salary for yourself, and the rest of the revenue all must go into the company. So very importantly, company's money is not your money is your salary. And by drawing a line, you actually divide personal money and business money. And this is critical, and the biggest disaster many businessmen do is they mix personal money with company money. And that's why very soon the company have cash flow problem. Yeah, and our job is to grow like 10 ringgit, how to grow 10 ringgit to become 50 ringgit. That's entrepreneur's job, to grow your capital into your profit. Yeah, and we must never mix the two.
Last but not least, can you share with us 3 tips on entrepreneurship?
Tip number 1, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you must always know this is for long term. And you must be prepared that in the first 3 years, you may not be seeing the money or the profit, but you must know why you choose this business. You must have a long-term plan. Very, very importantly, everything is for long term. Secondly, an entrepreneur must be able to be very dynamic, because in a changing environment, you must also change your marketing strategy, your branding strategy, your promotion, your advertising, and also your product innovation. All these are very important, because business is not static, it's dynamic. So in a very changing environment, nothing is constant. What your customer is looking for right now, they don't want to eat anymore 5 years later. 5 years later, 5 years ago, what they are looking for, today they are not interested anymore. So all the businessmen must also be innovative, creative, and also constantly looking for new ways to do business.
Thank you, Jackson, for your time and your sharing that will actually help the other entrepreneurs, business people, as well as aspiring entrepreneurs. Thank you.
It's my pleasure talking to you, Leanne, and I hope my sharing will help a lot of local entrepreneurs, especially the starters, and it will help them to consider all these important fundamentals. And if you are already in business, then you can look into how to grow your business. And we have a training program for 3 days, training local entrepreneurs how to manage your cash flow, how to look into branding and marketing, and how to actually grow your market size, how to manage your staff, your manpower, and most importantly, your customers, and also how to triple your revenue. Come to our program and we will share with you everything you need to know as an entrepreneur. Thank you. This is Jackson Ng. I see you in my next event.
Thank you, Jackson, for your time. It has been a very productive session here. So I believe all this information will provide useful insights to business people out there as well as aspiring entrepreneurs who wish to kickstart their business venture. This is Leanne here and thank you for listening.